Welcome to the Jeff and Alex podcast. I am Jeff Hilimire, and with my friend Alex Gonzalez, we explore topics that help you be your best self. And we also get to chat with some great guests. So join us now on the Jeff and Alex podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeff and Alex podcast. I am Alex Gonzalez, and I'm here with Jeff Hilimire. Hello, Jeff.
How's it going, Alex?
Oh, pretty good. Another beautiful, beautiful day, even though I can't see anything outside these windows here in this
neither can
elaborate studio of ours. We are, we should tell people we're in the same studio, but
Yeah, you're right there.
Exactly, and you're right there. So perfect. So we're set. So, look, Jeff, I think there's a great chance to tell the world about this Jeff and Alex podcast that we have launched. This weekly podcast series. But before we get into it, and there's going to be a great chance for people to get to know us. In fact, we just posted on our YouTube channel and also on any podcast platforms some much more in-depth interviews where I interview Jeff and he interviews me. But Jeff, for someone who doesn't know you, which I doubt is anybody, because I think everybody knows you, how do you describe yourself? Who are you?
Yeah. All right. So I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years, so I think I'm an entrepreneur. That's one label. I'm currently the CEO of Dragon Army. I have written a couple books on leadership. And so that, if I had to boil down my passion points, I think it would be leadership and purpose. And so I do have a personal purpose to have an outsized positive impact on the world. So I think that's me in a nutshell. I blog, I write, I do podcasts with Alex Gonzalez. How about you?
Well, I do podcasts with Jeff Hilimire. That's what I lead with. Well, of course, I talked about being married and having kids first, but look, it's interesting because I think this is why we thought a show like this would be great. Because Jeff talked about 20 years, or you talked about 20 years on the entrepreneurial side. I come from over 20 years on the corporate side at big companies like GE and Equifax and others. Fortunate to be in the C-suite there, but then kind of ventured into the entrepreneurial world and creative world, and currently, very privileged to be Chief Innovation Officer at the Metro Atlanta Chamber, where I get to work with startups, corporations, creatives, universities, investors to create connectivity and help curate a unique and inclusive ecosystem, which really fuels into my passion. My passion point is about innovation and really leading innovation. So I blog about it. I'm writing a book about it, and hopefully following the great steps that Jeff has left as an author. And also I have another podcast series called the Disruptor Studio, where I interview leaders who inspire transformation, innovation, and change. And very excited about this project here, Jeff and Alex podcast. So this is going to be a weekly podcast. So Jeff, we've talked about this is kind of a topic driven with some guests. So let's kind of get into each other's head real quick here. What is sort of the things we should be talking about over the coming years and decades of this number one hit show?
All right, you're being bold. We're gonna have so much success. We're doing this for decades. I love it. I'm interested in picking your brain about things like purpose, innovation, how those things come together. I think we're both passionate about diversity and inclusion, and so to the extent we bat around these topics, but I know we've got a guest list that I'm so excited to talk to these people. Following your lead on Disruptor Studio, which if people haven't checked that out, they definitely need to. When you get into conversations with people and you start really diving into some of these topics, it can be really powerful. And so that's mostly what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of topics, and I think for us, it's it's that it is topic driven, yet it's not topic specific, almost purposely, right? I think that the broadest sense, it's about definitely leadership, empowerment, being innovative, bringing the best out of yourself. And I'm excited to explore a lot of topics, and frankly have some fun in terms of the intersection of how some of this comes together in our personal lives as well too. And I think this, I always talk about collisions, and the collision of Jeff, your background and my background, and they're so different, yet there's so many things that are so much the same. So these different lenses yet come to something powerful on topics like around leadership or being innovative or being purpose driven. I'm looking forward to that and bringing guests in to talk more about that as well too. So that's what I'm really hoping that we'll have topics forever, and I'm sure we will. And once again, you can subscribe on this YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube channel, make sure this is a weekly podcast, and then of course also available on your podcast platform every week or on a weekly basis. And also, check out our social media. We will be dropping clips of interest and little insights and perspectives. So Jeff, I'm really looking forward to this. And what I love about this is there's enough ambiguity as well too, to allow us and also to hear back from people about things we should be talking about.
Yeah, I'm certain we will adjust and sort of be agile with this, just as we want to be entrepreneurial, because we want to go where people want it to go. So I'm excited to see where this ends up.
Exactly. And, and as you and I talked about, even if only our parents are watching, we're going to still have this thing, because we love talking to each other, and and frankly, our conversations are always insightful. So hopefully we could, for each other, so hopefully we could replicate the kind of the energy and spirit of our authentic conversations and keep it very real here as well too. So make sure you subscribe, check us out. Jeff, good seeing you again.
Yeah, you too. I guess I'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week on the Jeff and Alex podcast.